Hi guys. All right. Well, I'm here again, doing another video for you. So this time I'm going to try to make it more of a tutorial, just like I do my regular coloring videos, where I'm going to go from start to finish. So let me show you how I start. So the first thing I have to do is get a picture onto my iPad. Okay. So I made the picture. I uploaded it to my Dropbox. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Dropbox, and here's the picture I want because I just uploaded it, so it's going to be my first one. I'm going to click onto these three buttons right here, and it's going to say export. I'm going to export it, and I'm going to go straight to my copy to Procreate. And voila. See, and that's how I get my pictures on here. Now I want to check it because I checked the canvas information because I want to make sure that I have a 300 DPI and that I have enough layers, so I can do up to 30 layers. So I just want to make sure that everything is right. We've got 2400. This is an 8x8. So the reason I make it 8x8 is so it's nice and square on the Procreate app. So these are actual Procreate coloring pages that I made for you guys. But the benefit of this is I am also making it so that you can print it out, and then you can color it with colored pencils as well on a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So it kind of serves like a dual purpose. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to let you know what we got going there. Alright, so let me get comfortable, and I'm going to begin. So first thing I want to do is, I already kind of know my color scheme because I know my color palettes. So the first thing I told you guys to do, remember, is you click on here, set layer 1 as your reference so we don't ruin the bottom layer, and get a new layer. Alright, so now we're ready to start picking colors. And where to start? Well, you never kind of really know where to start. You just kind of pick somewhere and go with it. So I'll probably just start maybe with the bottom of this beak, I guess so. So I'm just gonna go here, and I'm going to go to my palette that I like to use, which are these two. And another thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new palette, and I'm going to call it, Kookaburra Bird. So I'm going to call it Kookaburra Bird. That's what the kind of bird this is. It's a Zentangle Kookaburra Bird. So now I'll know, and I set it as default. So now all the colors that I make for here, I can go over here and I can share it with you guys. So you'll have all the same colors, which are great. So you have new colors for your palettes when you do any coloring pages, whether they're mine or anyone's. You'll have colors, really cool colors to use. All right. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to grab a yellow, and I'm just going to drop it in there. All right. Now what I want to do is, I forgot to set this to multiply. So set that to multiply so we have the transparency. Sometimes, alright, so now we're set. Alright, so now I've got the yellow in there. I think I might, you know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to hit undo. I want a lighter, a really light color as a base first. Okay, so I'm just going to grab that color here. Let me go back into here and switch this. I want to make sure I put this on the palette. Okay, so there we go. Alright, now what I want to do is I'm going to go back to that yellow again that I have, put that in here, and then let's, I want to start shading, so I want to just start putting in my colors here. I need to make sure that this is, my head is not. Last time I did this, my hair was in the picture. I gotta remember I can't lean forward over too much, or you guys will see part of my head. Alright, so now I'm just gonna, I want to get a little color in here. I'm gonna just shade this out a bit. Alright, so we got some yellow, and then I'm gonna just blend that in a little bit. Okay, maybe I'll come out a little bit further with it. Alright, I'm going to just blend that in. Then I'm going to grab, I'm thinking I'll grab a orange here. Let's put some orange down here. Kind of shade that in. So. Okay. Now I don't want it to be like a straight line, so I'm kind of staggering a little bit, and then I'll blend. But it has a little bit more of a natural flow to it, to the blending. I'm just going to blend that out. Alright. There we go. Okay. Now, I think I'll try, maybe we'll put a little bit of red, and we'll put some red down in here. Alright, and grab my blender. See, remember, I use my blender does most of my work. Once I lay the pigment down, I use my blender tool, which I made that brush. I've got to be able to share that brush with you, but you can still use it. Just use the soft airbrush. I just changed mine so that it works for my purposes like this better than the way it came with the app. But I'm sure the one that came is probably just as good. All right. Yeah, I like to look at it from afar and see if I like the look of it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright, now I gotta think about what I want to do here with this top part and all these little things. Let's see, let's blend this out a little bit. Okay. Let's go for some, maybe some teal, a little bit of teal colors. So let's grab some an aqua, and I'm just gonna put some aqua in here. Okay. Now let's see, I need a darker aqua. Oops, see, I don't like to. I need a darker aqua. I have one over here somewhere. See, that's why you guys are going to love it when I give you these palettes, because you probably don't have any of these colors. And these are, I'm going to do it right straight from my Prismacolors, because I know the colors that I use. So I'm going to, how do I undo that? Uh-oh, now I'm going to have to go get an aqua. Sometimes if you mess up like that, like I just did, I'm going to see if I have another aqua that I want, like a teal color. It's kind of like a, if you're using your Prismacolors, and you know it's kind of like, you know, you have light aquamarine and all that. So if all else fails, like it is for me right now, I'm going to show you here what I do. I'm going to go to my gallery here, and I'm going to open up my picture that I like, that I'm going to go with my colors. This is the last one I did. And I'm going to just grab a darker shade color here. Maybe that one. And I'm going to add that to my palette. So then I'm going to go back here and get my bird. Alright, so now we got a new color in our palette, but just for the sake of you guys, I don't want to forget that that's my that I have it, you know, saved. And I'm going to just shade that out. Okay, I need my little finger, and I'm gonna, I think I'll shade maybe a little bit across this top. I really ought to make sure my hand. Alright, so we got that on there. Okay. Now the top part, maybe we'll do it in a, let me see. See, what I do is, if I run out of ideas, I just kind of look at my last one that I did, just to kind of see what kind of colors, like, to get ideas. Like, sometimes you can open up Pinterest, your Pinterest app, or, you know, whatever, whatever you need for inspiration. But for me, I like the colors of this. I kind of want the bird that I'm going to be doing to have these kind of colors. So I'm going to snatch that color. Okay, I'm going to snatch that color and put that in my repertoire. And I'm going to snatch this color. Okay, keep that in there. And what other colors do we need? I'm probably gonna need this. I got my blues and I got my purples already, so okay. So now I want to think about what I want to do with the top. Maybe something like this. Not sure. So let's find out. At least you see how the process goes, you know. If you don't know what to do, you just kind of get different things from inspiration. So I think I'll do these in the oranges. So I'm just going to fill all of these in a dark orange. Okay, and then I think I'll take a yellow and put that in the middle. See how I move it over? If I move it closer to the drop, then I don't have to drag it so far with my pencil, you know. Okay, then in here, I think I'll just do this yellow also, I guess. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, I guess. Because I'm going to shade it, so... Oh. See what happens if you don't get it right into the spot. It'll do that. Oops. See, that's why I like coming close up. So I can just come over here. If I go some overspill, I just go like that and then figure that out there. And I'll go back to my yellow. And then maybe, see how the brush is a little bit too big, so I wanted to get that little spot in there. Okay. This spot there. Okay, let's do this tip in a red. Okay, so now we're going to do some shading. So I'm going to shade, I guess, this part here with, let's try a goldenrod kind of color. We'll use this one. Alright. It's kind of like a goldenrod, right, for those of you that color in regular colors. That's too small. So I'm going to... The thing is, just because I'm doing a video, I really don't want to rush, because then I won't do a good job. I just have to kind of pretend that I'm just doing this on my own, like I always do, without trying to rush because it's being filmed, you know? I'm just going to do it like I do. Shade the side here. Shade the tops of these. Make my brush a little smaller. Okay, now I'll do my blending. And a smaller brush. And just continue to blend. Okay, now I'm gonna need to blend. I need to blend the orange. Let's try that one. Oops. I want to blend this one. Just trying to think about what kind of color I wanted to blend that with. Let me try that. Then I just blend that down like this. And then we'll blend right here. That's fine. Okay. I'm just blending. I wonder if I should put some music on, huh? In the background somewhere. Maybe I will when I take a little break. A little bit of music just so I can get the vibe. Right now I got my air conditioner on, so it's loud and annoying. Usually if I'm not filming, I'll have my TV on, you know, for my background, whatever, and I'll just listen to that. I watch normally like King of Queens and Everyone Loves Raymond or Two and a Half Men or something like that. Usually have something like that going, or I'll keep my regular shows, like I'll have my TMZ or my Inside Edition or something. But I don't want to have anything that distracts me where I have to look at it. You know, I just like things I can listen to. Maybe I'll put Dateline on, or you know, Dateline or 2020 or something where you can just like listen and you don't have to actually look up and watch, because I don't want to feel like I'm missing anything, and I want to concentrate on what I'm doing, not, you know, watching. So I just put things on I can listen to. A lot of people just listen to music and relax, you know. I'm more of a TV background person than a music person, though. I just put my little shows on and listen to those. And I might put Dr. Oz on in the background or something. But even that gets a little distracting because I want to kind of look and see what's going on. Or like if I put Friends on, I've seen every episode like a million times. So I don't need to look at it because my mind already knows. I'll just listen to it. So it's just stuff like that. You know, whatever makes you happy. That's what the whole reason we do this, because life is so freaking damn ass stressful that you just need to take time to have a little break, you know? Like maybe you guys watching this is a nice break for you, you know? I hope my voice doesn't get annoying. Try not to talk so much, but that's not my nature. I'm Italian and German, so I'm a big talker, a yap. You know, there's an exercise you can do. There's a joke. My daughter said, "Hey Mom, look at this awesome exercise. You should try it." So I listened to the video she showed me, and she says, "Okay, now take your it's a face exercise. So take your mouth, and then you take your lips, and then you just close them. Try that." It's pretty funny. It's like, okay, I get the joke. I get what you're telling me. That was pretty funny. So I'm just shading. You can see what I'm doing here. Now I want to put in some highlights here, so I grab my eraser and I'm gonna make a little whoop-de-doo here, and make a whoop-de-doo here, and a little whoop-de-doo over here, over here. I'm going to come in the blender, and I'm going to make it a little smaller, and I want to blend this out here to make a nice little highlight. And I don't think I like the way that is. I think I blended it too much, so I'm going to undo it, and I'm just going to blend from the top and leave that top part a little blending. So that's what I mean. I use the finger as to do most of my work. But then this is where you start putting in your detail, you know. This is where you start getting your nice detail work. And then I'm going to go back in and put some highlights on the top of this after, but for now I'm just going to blend all these out. And then I just kind of make sure I get, do I like, I mean, I guess it's going to be alright. See, that's the thing, when people say that this is an art, it's like, no, 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 you don't understand. It is. It's the same, it is art. This is not a little video game or a little, you know, joke where it's just, you know, oh, the app just automatic. No, this is actual drawing. It's the same thing as if you're using colored pencils. There's a technique involved, there's color choices, there's, you know, you're blending and you're shading, and it's art. So for people that says it isn't, I'm gonna be firm on disagreeing. Because it is. I'm still using all the same talents, you know. I know you guys could probably see that person that, I'm not going to say who it was, but it really offended me when they said that what I'm doing is an art. That that bothers me so much, because to me, that's wrong. It's art. I'm working, you know, it's a total technique that you have to learn. You've got to learn. It's just like with colored pencils. You have to know how to blend and shade and add highlights and pick colors, choices, and stuff like that. If you want it to come out really good, you know. It's kind of cool though that I discovered this, because there's like nobody that does, you know, like when you go to YouTube and you want to go watch colored pencil videos, there's tons of them out there, you know. There's, you know, Chris Chang, and then there's Color with Claire, and Julie's Passion for Coloring, and then you know, there's all these awesome people that do the videos, and you watch all the videos and follow along, you know, follow my tutorials or whatever. But for this, there's nothing. Like, I am like the innovator of this, so it makes me feel kind of cool. There's people that do the comics, I've seen those, and there's one guy that does landscape painting, but no one does the coloring books. I mean, I've seen people do different things, portraits and, you know, that kind of stuff, but nobody with the coloring book tutorials like you get with colored pencils. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it'd be really cool if this catches on, because it's, I mean, you know, the way technology is going these days, I'm not surprised it hasn't already caught on. Alright, so I am now just blending same techniques here, as you can see. Okay. And then over here I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight in the middle. I don't want to do too much, because if I do too much, then I take away. And then if you think you do too much, you just push a little harder with your pen. And if you push just a little bit harder, it moves the pixels around. So you can just kind of push them around if you do too much, and push the other colors back in if you know what I mean. Okay, so let's do a highlight over here. I'm gonna put a little highlight there. I don't like that one. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna blend that. Yeah, I think I will. I'm gonna blend it first. And then I'll put a highlight in like I will on the rest of those. So I'm gonna do a little bit more highlight here at the tip. Make my brush a little bit bigger, just because I want a subtle highlight. Okay, now I'm gonna take my hair and I'm gonna that's too much and too big, so I'm gonna bring that down. See, now that to me is a little bit too. I'm going to bring down the opacity a little. So it's not quite so white. I'm going to still even do it more. Better. I'll try something here because I'm not sure if I liked this. I'm gonna do a little bit on these tips of in here. I'll lighten tips of these a little. It's way too big. Okay, just putting in some, just making a little bit more details in here. I like it a little bit lighter on the tip, you know. And I always like to look from far away and see how it's progressing as to what I need to do. Like that needs to be blended a little more. Okay. And then I'm going to blend that down. See, now what I'm doing is if you start at the top like this, okay, first make your shadow or your highlight, and then instead of pushing it around, start here at the top part and then kind of bring it down, and you're pulling the pixels down, and then kind of like this, like a little sawtooth motion, and sawtooth back and forth, Okay, that's, you got to kind of get used to blending, just like you do with your colored pencils, you know. Just you want a nice, smooth, nice blend. Like that right there, I can see isn't blended enough for me. So I'm going to blend that a little more. Blend that a little more. And now we're going to put a little highlight, I think maybe in this area. Here, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and I'm going to put a little bit of highlight in here. Adjust the brush. See how I adjust the brush? Just to make it a little bit bigger. If it's too small, it won't work. You know, it doesn't blend right. You want to keep your size good. I'll blend that in until I like it. Okay, and like I say, I like to look at it, you know, from far away. When you look at it up close all the time, it's not this, you know, you can't really get the overviews if you, when you're looking at it like this, when you can actually see what it looks like, you know. Alrighty, I'll leave that for now. Sometimes I'll go back to different areas afterwards, you know, and do more things to it. But for now, let's try some, let's do hot pink. Okay. Some hot pink, and then I think we'll do a purple. Oh, I already got the purple over here, so. Okay, now, when you have all these spots here, you can't drop it. You're going to have to, unless you want to do each one separate. Every, you know, I could have done, well, I could do every one a different color. Maybe I will. Let me see. I can try it first, and then if I don't like it, I can always go like this. I'm going to see if I like the way that that looks. I do, so I'm just going to do it like that. Up. In here. Okay. It's already coming out pretty good, huh? And we just started, all right? You know, see, I like to turn it. It's funny, even on here, I like when I'm coloring on paper. You know, you guys know how I'm always spinning my paper around. I do the same thing on here. It's pretty funny. It's just my way. All right. Now, I think I'm going to use that as a shading color. For this, add some shading in here. Use that same color as my shader. Too big, so I'll make it smaller. I don't know if that little cursor is showing up on your camera or not, but I know in the last video the white highlight looked weird compared to how it looks on here, so I don't know if it's a reflection from this or not that makes it, you know, look different. So I hope that you're getting all the right tones and stuff. Right, I'm going to shade the bottom here. And the top maybe. Now, you don't always have to do it this way, with where you put the pigment first and then blend. You can also just take your brush and just put the opacity to where you want it, and then just, you know, shade it like that. But for me, I don't know, it just never works out when I do it like that. You know, I have to use the blender. So if you can use it, if you can figure out, maybe for you, you'll be able just to use the brush as an airbrush and figure out play with the opacities or whatever, and just do it without using the blender. But for me, this is just so much easier. Okay, now I'm blending. I don't want to blend too much or too high, so now I can see I'm starting to get a little look here. I think I might, you know, put a little highlight here. I guess in colored pencils, this would be like a hot pink and a processed red, maybe, or a mulberry. This is more like a mulberry. Alright, so now, yeah, see how it looks like it's nice and highlighted there already. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to grab this pink right here. I'm going to go over to my classic mode, and I want to get like a lighter pink like this, and I'm going to move my brush to about there, and I think I'm just going to paint a little highlight right here, right in the middle, so it looks like it's kind of shiny a little, you know, and then I'll just come along here, and then I'll come along this side. It's very subtle, like just a subtle little highlight there. Yeah, I think we'll do the same right up here. So, highlight. Okay. Now this is where I should use layers, because you see how when I went over how I ruined this area here. If I would have done that on a different layer, it wouldn't have affected that. So I will start showing you guys a little bit how I use my layers, which I probably should be doing, but you know, I just don't. You know, I probably should, but alright, that would have been a good case to use a layer, but whatever. It is what it is, you know. Right, so now I need to shade a little bit in the middle of this here, so I'm gonna maybe go up to about like that, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of, so I'll put a little bit in the middle of these, but just kind of subtle, you know. It doesn't need to be. You don't have to always be so drastic with the white, you know. You can. I just took this down a shade, couple shades. Out. Yeah, this would have definitely been a good case to use a layer, which I should do, because there's an easier way to get some really cool effects. I'm wondering if I want to do that. And here, I'm just trying to think, because I could just go like this with the lighter color. I think I will. So I'm going to try it here. Let's grab a new layer, right? And we're going to hit multiply. And then on the new layer, I'm going to take a lighter color, and I'm going to just go like this with the... It's not lightning. Why? See, now I'm wondering why it's not lightning. That's weird. I hit multiply on there. That's why. Alright, well, that didn't work out. See, I'm not very good at this either, you guys. I mean, I'm just learning too. I'm totally just learning, but the layers, that's why I don't use them. I mean, I try, but I'm still not absolutely the best at it yet. Did I put that? I didn't see. Now I didn't put that shading color in our palette. I will. I gotta remember to do that. Oh, see, now I can't do it because I'm on this layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and since it didn't work out, I'm just going to clear that layer, and I'm going to merge down, and that way I'm back on this layer again. Because you can only work, you know, on that one layer that you're the active layer. So now I'm just back to just doing it normal without any layers. Okay, now I'm wondering if in the middle, if I want it white like that, or maybe add a color. I think maybe, let's try a light blue here. Oh no, not this blue. I want to use this one. This is like a kind of like a sky blue, I guess, kind of. But try to see if I like that way that looks. Blue. And then let's see here. All right, so let me try something here. Let me grab a opposite of purple, okay, is green. And when you try to figure colors, I like to go opposite of color wheels that complement each other. I mean, you kind of already know, like the green and the yellow, you know, and the blues, you know, you could see what's right next to each other. But when you want to go something opposite, to use a complementary color, it really makes it stand out. So if you got purple over here, that would mean that a greenish tone would look good in there. So I'm going to try to go for like a lime peel color, and let's add that to our bird. And I'm going to see how if I like it. And I'm going to just keep it. I'm going to do it like that with the green. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so the green in here. Yeah, there is a way I should have done this differently, but I don't want to have to redo this though. What I should have done is show you how you do it and select a layer, because then I could have airbrushed the sides of that instead of having to do each one. I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to undo all these, okay? I'm going to show you something. It's not going to take that hard. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to get a new layer. Okay, then on my new layer, I'm going to put in the greens on the new layer. So the only thing that's going to be on this new layer is going to be green. Now see how it did that? Because I didn't hit multiply. Now I hit multiply. Okay, so now you can see the lines. You got to make sure you do the multiply thing. You'll know right away if you forget, because it doesn't look right when you drop it. You don't see it'll look weird. See, it'll alert you that. Okay, I'm going to show you how to select a layer in a minute here. This is going to be interesting for you. This is new for me. I mean, like I say, I haven't had this very long, so I'm just kind of learning as I go along as well. See, with colored pencils, I feel really confident teaching you because, you know, I've been doing it for 50 years, but this is all brand new, so I'm just completely learning, so I kind of feel bad, like I'm trying to teach you when I don't even know myself. but I figured, well, if you might as well watch, you know, and learn along with me. Okay, so here's the layer here. Now, this is a little trick I learned too. If I go to here and I select this layer, okay, you see, all of a sudden you see all these little lines right here, okay? All of these little lines show up, and these lines right here will alert you that you're just only going to work on this section. So what I'm going to do is I want to get a darker green. Let's put it on our thing. And I want to get my airbrush right about here and right about there. And I want to airbrush it. Now if you notice, see over here, nothing's happening. Nothing will go on until it gets onto any of the greens that I selected. So now I could just go straight down like this, and what it will do is it'll only affect the green and not that purple underneath. That was just a little too wide for me. So it'll only do the green that's underneath here, but not the purple that was underneath it. Okay? So now I can just only work with the green, and it's isolated. Okay, that's another little trick I kind of figured out and learned. There's probably so much I don't even know. That's why I say I feel kind of bad trying to teach you when I don't even know myself, but these are things I've just kind of figured out, you know, on my own along the way. And like I say, and I, you know, have no idea. I'm just, but I mean, I still kind of think I've kind of got it as far as how to make it look kind of cool, you know. So I don't feel bad about that. I'm just gonna shade this out here a little. Oh, that kind of worked out, didn't it? I didn't even mean to do that. Ooh, that was an accident, but I like it. So this is my blender tool, and I'm taking the blender tool, and what the blender tool is doing, maybe because it's on multiply, it's actually kind of lightened that little area up a little bit for me. So this was just my normal finger tool, but for some reason, when it's selected like this, it's doing a really nice effect. So it did do it on there. Oh, that's because it didn't add any dark green. That was pretty cool. I didn't know how that happened. Alright, so now we're going to put a little highlight there, and I'm going to just blend that in, top of that. Okay. Up here. Up here like this. Alright. Okay, now to unselect it, just hit this little button right here. Let's unselect. Now it's unselected. Now see, no, everything nothing with the purple was affected. Okay. Now if I want to go back and work on that layer and maybe blend that in a little bit so it's not so stripy, I can. So I'm going to go back to this layer and I'm going to select it again. And I don't want it to be quite so stripy, but that's what I tried last time. And then what happened was that it wouldn't blend, it lightened it instead. So, oh, see how it's pushing the pixels? Let me make it smaller. You can see that how. Let me turn my paper. Yeah, my paper. It's pushing the pixels. You see, pixel by pixel. So at least you got more of a view of how this thing actually works. So it pushes the pixels around. And that's what causes the blending. It, you know, pixel by pixel. I don't know if you can, if you're catching that on here or not, but that's what's causing. That's what makes it blend. It's just smushing the pixels nicely. Because I want a little bit better of a blend. I wasn't happy with that blend at all. So I'm just blending it a little bit more. Nicer. So I'm just giving it a little bit better of a blend here. Okay, I'll just, I don't know if I already did that or not, I can't tell. Yeah, I guess I did. Just messing around. I'm just, you know, kind of, well, you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just pushing these pixels around a little bit, just so it's a little bit more on the blended side instead of a striped side. Striped. See, the reason that's getting lighter like this is because I'm pushing harder. And then if you, so it kind of works like a colored pencil. This, I'm gonna unselect it now. Okay, so when you're pushing it harder, it's just like a colored pencil. You know, you push really hard on it, then you're gonna get more of a pressure. You know, and then you lighten it, you're gonna get a lighter effect. The pencil, this Apple Pencil, works the same way. So like I'm using a very light touch right now to blend that, like very light on my hand, not heavy at all, just so light, just to get these edges blended in a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right, now, you know how I say I always like dark, darker, and darkest, so I'm gonna get a darker green in here, and I just want to put a little bit in here, just a smidge. I'm gonna blend that out. Just see how just adding just a little bit of the dark in here. It should be right here. Now another thing I can do too is I want to show you something here. Let me get rid of this so you can learn here. Okay, I can go like this because I'm on this layer here, so nothing is affected. So if I make this airbrush bigger, I can go like this, and then now what it should, oh, it's not doing it. That's so weird how that does that. Oh, because I'm on the smudge tool. Okay, I meant to go on here. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to, now, oh, well, what's happening here? Oh, that's okay if I'm on my third layer, because I can erase it. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm just going to only just do this top piece right here. Okay, just this top piece with the airbrush. Then I could take my eraser and make my eraser bigger, and then I can just get rid of this part that I don't want. Right, where I don't want the color, and I don't want the color here, so I'll just take that off. But see, it seems like it's a lot harder for me than if I just did the old-fashioned way, you know, the way I was doing it before with my blender. That's why for me, this is just, it's so much easier if I just do it just my normal, traditional way that I color with my colored pencils. Instead of trying to do all the fancy stuff with the airbrushing and the layers, and I don't know, it's just, I mean, I'll keep practicing, but like I say, you know, I told you I feel bad teaching you guys when I don't even know myself, but at least you guys can, we'll all learn together, right? Alright, so now I'm gonna, oh, that's why, I know why, because see, it wasn't selected. So the layer has to be selected, and it wasn't selected. That's why that happened. So if you don't select the layer, then it won't know to only do it. So now if I did that, it won't go here. See, now it'll just only go on the green. See? So that was exactly what happened. So all right, well, we all learning stuff. So now I can unselect it, and I'm just going to get rid of that one little spot there. I can still see here how it, I'm using the eraser now just to get rid of that little edge, that green I didn't like there. But see, it just seems harder if you try to do those weird tricks that all these digital artists use, that, you know, they use this when they make the comic books and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, they know how to use the erasers and the layers and like all these fancy smancy ways. But like I say, I'm just such a regular coloring book artist that it's hard for me to grasp that. I just kind of feel like I just want to do it the way I normally just color, like I do when I'm in real life, when you know what I mean. Okay, so now what I got to do is I'm going to take this layer and I'm going to hit merge down. Okay, that way I'm back onto my layer where I was before, and then now everything's just back to normal. Because that's how I like it. Just where everything is just, you know, copacetic. Okay, this kind of reminds me of a, what's that, a paisley design, maybe like a peacock area here. I think I'm going to grab an orange. I don't know, I'm feeling orange here. For some reason, just in this here, I'm feeling a little orange in there. I think. I don't want too much orange going on. I want some orange purples. And I think it's too dark. Now, here's another thing, which I will do on this. Well, I don't want to do it on this. Let me get rid of this. This is where I want to use a different layer. So here's a layer here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this in here because I want to show you something. This little button here, see this where it says opacity? You could take the opacity and watch how I could do this. See how it's getting lighter and then darker? Okay? Just by sliding it. So I can just choose how light I want it, and I actually kind of like it maybe like that. So that's a good point on using a reason for using a layer, because you can control certain things. Because I don't want to ruin the opacity on this part, only on this one little orange part. So this is the only thing I'm working on right now, is just this, and so I don't like it that dark. So you see, you can play around and you can say, okay, well, maybe you like it lighter, maybe I like it like that, and I actually like it a little lighter. So I'll just leave it like that. And then from here, if I want to shade this a little bit, then I will take this. But I think what's going to happen, because it's opacity, I don't think it's going to come out full strength, but I'll find out. I don't think it will, because we've already changed the opacity. Yeah, see, so I won't be able to shade on here, I could see, because that opacity is down. But that's okay, because what I could do now is I'm going to take this layer and I'm just going to merge it down and just be done with it. Now everything will be back to normal, because we're off of that. The layer was, you know, we had changed the color, the opacity of this shade. Okay, so now I could just do it as normal, and then I could just blend, just like normal. See? These are some things I'm kind of figuring out as I go along. And then I'm going to just kind of blend this out. Okay. Alright, and then I think I'll maybe put a little bit of color maybe at the top up here. Oh, you know what I could do? Well, I was saying maybe I could just do a little bit on the sides. Let me see if I like that. I'm going to make the brush very small, and I'm going to see if I just want to outline it maybe. I'll see if I like that. And then blend that. I'm going to just try a little section of it and blend that out and see if I like that, the look of that. If it gives it a little bit more of a... I hope my hair isn't in the middle of this video, because sometimes I put my head over there and you guys are going to see my hair, like in my head in the way. I gotta remember not to do that. If it did, I'm sorry, I can't look up, I mean I can't see it if it is. Okay, I like that, so I'm just gonna go along this edge here. And I'm just gonna shade just the tips, just the little tippy tips here. I can't spin it, I have to move my pen up and my hand over to be able to... Okay, now I'm going to go back in, and then I'm going to maybe make make this brush a little bit bigger. And let me see how big it is. And then I'll just kind of blend that in. And blend it in, maybe like little circles, like just gives it a little, it gives it a little oomph. A little oomph, right? Is oomph a word? A little oomph. Okay, so now I'm just going through here and blending. And I'm going to blend it in here. Okay, I got to keep track of how long this video is. Oh, I know how. I think I could do it. I think there's a timer on here too, so I know how long it's lasting. I'm going to finish this one little section right here, and then we'll end this video, and then I'll make it part 2. Okay, I think on here, let's do some purple, or maybe a, let's see, what kind of color should I do on there? Let's go for like a pinkish, this would be almost like a 929 pink. Whoops, not that one. Like a 929 pink. And if you're using Prismacolor, that's kind of like what color that is right there. So I want to make sure I'm not putting too many of the similar colors on this palette, because we're only allowed to have 30 that I could share with you, so I want to make sure we're not using too many colors. I have to keep that in mind too on these. Alright, so I'm going to just kind of drop these in. Whoa, I'm recording. Hello. Hold on one second. Let me pause. Huh? You sure?
Yeah.
You want me to pause it?
No.
Okay.
I'm just going downstairs.
Okay. Love you. My son. Okay, so I'm going to over here. Alrighty. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to use my eraser again and do this technique, I guess. Just going to lighten the tips of these a little. I'll lighten these tips up here. I'm going to take my handy dandy blender and just give it a nice little glow here on the top. Now see how I'm pushing the pixels this way, you know, so, because remember it moves the pixels. It's not like, you got to kind of keep that in mind. That is one thing different, obviously, than colored pencils. You just got to remember you're moving these pixels around, and I want to blend them all together so that they're, you know, has a nice blend again with the top parts. Now see, if it's a little too much there, I didn't like that. I thought it was just a little too much. Down here. My brush might be a little bit too big. I think I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. Alright. Okay. Now I can see it doesn't have enough drama. You know me. I love my drama, so I'm going to have to probably do something here. I'm going to, but I'm gonna continue highlighting this area here, anyways, on all these. And then I'm gonna blend. Just blend. Just blend. It's so satisfying. It's just, I don't know, I just love the way it feels. It just feels good. This is just fun. It's just fun. Fun, fun, fun. Blend this in. Blend that. Blend this. I hope you're enjoying this as much as me, because it's really so relaxing. Really, really love doing this. I guess probably because it's also something new for me, you know. I'm so used to just doing it, you know, colored pencils, which I love it, obviously, but it's just, this is so new. It's fun. Okay, so I'm going to now, I want to go back and to grab this orange here, and I want to, it's like I say, there's not enough drama. I need more drama, so I'm going to line the inside of this too. Because it's just, I don't know. I mean, I could erase this whole thing and try a whole bunch of different colors. If I wasn't filming, I probably would. But since I'm recording it, I don't want to do that. Okay, now I'm going to go back here and just kind of blend that out just a little bit. This is not quite so harsh of a line, but okay. Alright, well, it's a little better. I'm not totally happy with the color of that, but it's fine. It'll do in a pinch. Maybe I want to, well, that's alright. Alright, I'm going to grab a yellow, and I'm going to throw that in here. Okay, and then I think I'll use this, we need to jazz it up here with some more color. Let's grab a red. Maybe put a red inside the middle of that and make that like a red thing. Okay, and then now I need some teals and aquas. I think I'm going to bring some of these colors over, and if I bring some of these colors, then I can make a variety, or it matches. Okay, sorry about that. My son came in, so I know that this part here may take a little bit. So, and I just realized about the time that was on this video. So I'm just going to pause the video right here and make this part 1. And when we come back, we're going to just keep continuing. Okay. So thanks so much. I hope you're having fun coloring along with me. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And I will see you in the next part 2. Thanks a lot. See you next time. Ciao.